SOP 209. Today we're talking about troubleshooting your WordPress blog.
It's the School of Podcasting's morning announcements. Here's Dave Jackson.
All right, welcome to the School of Podcasting's morning announcements. I am your stuffed up host, Dave Jackson. Thanking you very much for tuning in. Our website is schoolofpodcasting.com. You can email me, dave@schoolofpodcasting.com, or you can call in your comments toll-free, courtesy of podcastvoicemail.com, and that is 888-563-3228. Everything we talk about today, you can find in our show notes. You can find that at shownotes.schoolofpodcasting.com. Want to mention before we get into the meat and potatoes that we are doing a fundraiser this month. My birthday was this month. If you'd like to contribute, if you've been getting the podcast for free, this would be a great time to throw in a couple bucks. Just go to schoolofpodcasting.com/birthday. We're going to jump right into it today. Had a member of the School of Podcasting email me, and he had basically when you went to his website, instead of seeing his website, it was something like, WP content /plugins /blah blah blah /blah blah blah.php error in line 138. And what it is when you see /plugins, that means you have a problem with one of your plugins. Well, Dave, what is a plugin? Well, first things first, I realize if you're new to the show, this is where we talk about all things podcasting. And if you're new to podcasting, you're like, what the heck is a WordPress? WordPress is a great free software that you can install to create your website and to create your RSS feed. And a plugin basically makes that basic software better. Think of this as like a basic car, and then you add air conditioning, power steering, things like that. Well, the good news about WordPress is, number one, it's free, and it has a team of developers scattered across the world because it's called open source software. That means everybody can say, hey, here's a way to make this software better. And so from time to time, it does get updated. Now, one of the greatest features that they have added to WordPress is now you can upgrade it with literally one mouse click. That's great, except think of it this way. The air conditioning and the power steering are created by somebody who didn't make the car. Now, they write the air conditioning and the power steering to the specifications of the car, but as I just said, WordPress often is updated with new features. So now those original specifications for the car are wrong. So if you try to stick an air conditioning unit from, say, a 2009 Toyota Corolla into a 2010 Toyota Corolla, it may not fit because the car's specifications have changed. Well, you may have written a plugin that fit, WordPress 2.8, and then they come out with WordPress 2.9. Well, guess what? That doesn't fit anymore. And so another new feature that they added to WordPress is, it used to be you always had to use what was called an FTP program. If we want to get geeky, it's File Transfer Protocol. I use a program called Core FTP. It's free. And this allows you to get into kind of the backstage area of your website. And you could go in and log into your website, log into a folder where WordPress is, and then there'd be another folder called plugins, and you could go in there and you could delete that folder where the plugin is. Well, the great thing is now you can log into WordPress from the front, and under appearance there's a link that says plugins, and the first thing you'd want to do is take the plugin, and you'll know the name of the plugin. In this case, Wayne had a plugin called Easy Ad Sensor, so I'm assuming this is something for Google AdSense, and it was causing a problem. So he would go in and deactivate that. And then once it's deactivated, you will see an option next to it that says delete. And I just told Wayne, whack it. Just whack the whole thing. And then if you want, you can, try reinstalling it, but, and then try. And if you, after reinstalling it, if it doesn't work, then for whatever reason, you're using last model's air conditioning with this year's car. It's just not going to work. So just deactivate it and delete it, and then go into plugins and try and find either one that works, because there's so many plugins that will take care of that. Now, one of the worst problems I've had with this is many moons ago, I was talking about a WordPress theme that allowed you to make your own theme. It was called Semiologic, and it was it was expensive. Basically, most themes are free. This one was about $300, and I'd actually purchased it, and I liked it, and it made things very easy. You could make your own menus. You could, swap things around. But they changed their pricing model to where now it's $300 a year to use this. Now, you can use it on unlimited numbers of websites. So I guess if I had 8 billion websites, that would come in handy. But when I finally said, I'm not paying $300 to renew my subscription to this, that's fine. The software still worked. But when WordPress updated, many of the plugins, and there are many plugins that come standard with Semiologic, quit working. And the only way, if I tried to update those plugins, I couldn't until I updated my Semiologic membership. So to make a long story short, I don't use Semiologic at all anymore. My WordPress tool of choice now is Thesis. Either that or make your own theme with a program called Artisteer. And if you go to, powerofpodcasting.com, there's one that I did with Artisteer. If you go to podcastmechanic.com, that's another one I did with Artisteer. And if you go to JillianMichaelsPodcast.com, that's one I'm using Thesis on. So just some quick tips there. The great thing about, again, WordPress is it does have new features added on a regular basis. The bad news is it's updated on a regular basis. And most of the time, WordPress, the kind of corporation, gives people that write plugins plenty of time to make sure that their plugins will work with the new version. But in some cases, like PodPress, which lay on the shelf for many months, not working with the latest version of WordPress, which I think it does now. I think it's been updated. But in some cases, the people that wrote the plugin have just basically abandoned their plugin, and you're just left hanging. So if that is the case, just go in to WordPress, under plugins, deactivate that plugin, and just delete it. Because I've seen people try to go in, and if you're not a coder, you're not going to be able to figure out what's wrong with line number 38. Save yourself the headache. Just whack the plugin and see if you can find one that basically does the same thing. Because in many cases, you may find one that actually does it better. So that's going to do it for this edition of the School of Podcasting's Morning Announcements, where we talk about all things podcasting. Now, if you'd like to start your own podcast, please come visit us at the School of Podcasting. You can find us at schoolofpodcasting.com. We've got self-paced tutorials. We're going to be having another free webinar. We had a great webinar last Thursday. Those are free, open to the public. I do those about every 2 weeks. And it's schoolofpodcasting.com/webinars. And you can email me again, dave@schoolofpodcasting.com, or call in your comments, 888-563-3228. And until next week, class is dismissed.